Hey guys, it's me, English teacher Matthew, and I'm back with another video. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to understand how to use different talking verbs in English. So today we're going to concentrate on learning the differences between say, tell, ask, talk, speak, and discuss. So let's get started by talking about the verb say. Say, say. We usually say something. So for example, he said he loved me. He said he loved me. But if we want to say who we are talking to, who we are saying this thing to, then we add the preposition to. So for example, she said hi to me. She said hi to me. Now, these two examples are when we use say in reported speech. Reported speech is when we are saying or talking about what someone said before. But you may see it when you're reading a book, when they use direct speech. For example, winter is coming, he said. Winter is coming, he said. The second verb is tell. Tell. Tell and say are similar. But whereas before we said we say something to someone or we say something, with tell we say tell someone. So, for example, I told my mother. But usually we add the something at the end. So we tell someone something. I told my mother about my promotion. I told my mother about my promotion. I told her that I loved her. I told her that I loved her. We can also add the preposition to when we are telling someone to do something. So, for example, I told him to wash the car. I told him to wash the car. I told my students to do their homework. I told my students to do their homework. To express when someone is asking a question, we use the verb ask. So, for example, we can say, he asked a question. He asked a question. Now, if we want to add more information, there are a variety of different words we could use. So, for example, he asked for a pencil. He asked for a pencil. He wanted the pencil, so he asked for it. He asked for a pencil. Another one is about. He asked about the exam. He asked about the exam. He wanted some information, so he asked about the exam. We can also use if or whether. They're very similar. He asked if he could borrow a pencil. He asked if he could borrow a pencil. Whether is used in the same way. He asked whether he could borrow a pencil. He asked whether he could borrow a pencil. We can also use a question word. So, for example, he asked me how to do it. He asked me how to do it. Practice using ask with all of these different prepositions and words in the comments below. I'll check them and I'll give you some feedback. Now, the last three verbs we're going to combine and talk about them together because they are very similar. These verbs are talk, speak, and discuss. So, for example, we can say he talked about the issue, he spoke about the issue, He discussed the issue. Notice with discuss, we don't need the preposition for. When we want to say who we are talking or speaking or discussing with, then we can use different prepositions. He talked to his teacher. He spoke to his teacher. He discussed the issue with his teacher. Notice here with discuss how it's a little bit different. And the last one is when we're going to say for how long we are talking or speaking or discussing these things. So for example, we can say, he talked for hours. He spoke for hours. Or we discussed the issue for hours. Notice with discuss, we need the object. Have you been discussing anything with your colleagues or friends recently? Tell me in the comments below. That concludes today's lesson. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you learned something new. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a like. And if you want to see more, then press subscribe. Thank you again for watching. I appreciate your support. And until next time, keep practicing.